Yes. So I think online students will join us. For many of them now, prelims fever is catching on. And happy to share with all of you, some of our essay candidates have got a call for interview. So that's a development.
Yeah, congratulations to everybody who made it. And for those of you who did not, yeah, don't worry. It's not the end of the world. Sometimes you have to live to fight another day. So, like I told you in the Telegram channel, Shabbir and I have faced this so many times through our entrepreneurship journey that we often talk about it. That sometimes yeah, it's okay to lose and go back and sleep it over, right? Next morning, just get ready and get ready to go to the battle again. So that's how it works.
Hi, Mehak. Good evening. Deb, you talk about the challenges in the past tense, that we faced challenges. It's present, continuous, future tense too.
Yeah, what can I say? I'm an optimistic person. So,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah, yeah.
I like to believe that the worst is behind me and, good things are out there. So, yeah.
Yes. Hi,
Aditya,
Aditya.
Mehak,
Good
yeah.
evening, Mehak,
Good
Avnish.
evening.
Good evening, all of you. So, we always start the session with some inputs from all of you. You tell us how is it going, what has been your learning through the week, what are you looking forward to? Why don't we have some conversations on that? We as mentors and guides and teachers, we will speak. We have our agenda set, but part of the process also listening to your experiences. Hi, Rakesh Kumar Sahu. Good evening. So, Mehak, I know you. Okay, in the class, pretty sincere, serious, committed to the process. Aditya, you've been very regular with us. Rakesh, I don't remember seeing you earlier on the uh, platform, but I'm sure you have been working as sincerely. So anything you want to tell us, you want to share with us?
So, Shabir, this time in the Telegram channel, our assignment was a very interesting and very famous line that you and I have discussed in the past from Albert Camus. He
Yeah.
once said that in the midst of a chilling winter, I discovered in me an invincible summer. That was the line. So we had that as the assignment, and I think the engagement has improved considerably in the last few assignments. I'm seeing a lot of you kind of come back and post regularly. You are critiquing each other's work, which is actually really nice because I'll do that, but you are learning with each other and you're giving each other feedback. You're when you like something somebody else has written, that's the true power of a community. So absolutely keep doing that. Ashik, good evening. Good evening. So, Shabir, so on this particular topic, I think it got people fired, and they have written. Um, it's a it's a topic that we've all kind of seen in some ways, in other shapes or forms, right? But when the same problem statement gets described in a different way, then it fires off different kind of neurons in your head. So I think we had some really, really good conversation this time on that. Um,
I think initially what happens, Dave, is most of them are very unsure about what is to be done, and they always think others know better, others have aced the format, and that they are novice, scared to fail. And that's one reason why they take time, and once they understand, they're on. शेखावती जाटनी हिंदी में बोलो सर. हिंदी में बोलो सर. ऑलवेज इंग्लिश. कभी तो हिंदी में बोलो सर.
ठीक है, आज हिंदी में करते हैं। आज प्रोसेस हिंदी में कर लेंगे हम लोग, कोई बात नहीं। लेकिन लिखना तो इंग्लिश में है। सो आई थिंक दोनों को मिला के चलना पड़ेगा।
You have coined a very smart phrase, English. It's neither here nor there. हम हिंदी भी बोल रहे हैं इंग्लिश के साथ साथ. Okay, so ठीक है. By the way, online students, all of you are comfortable with English, right? So we have a very aggressive demand from Shekhavati Jatani. The name is a very royal name. एकदम तलवार चल जाएगा, otherwise खंजर चल जाएगा. So keep our ourselves safe there. Okay, then Dave, I think most of them have joined.
Yeah.
So before we start off, once again, anything you want to share with us? कुछ आप कहना चाह रहे हो, कुछ आपके एक्सपीरियंसेस आप हमें बताना चाह रहे हो, कोई इशू है कि हाँ बताइए. Global World says how to rectify grammatical aspect and to which extent. Okay, Anfas says what about Indians from South? The language thing starts now. So my view on this global world, देखो, grammar is important. Okay, and unfortunately, through our schooling, we do not pay attention to these aspects and nuances of language. To be very honest, grammar जो है, it's an important dimension. जितना ठीक कर पाओ कर लो, पर मुझे लगता नहीं है कि you can go into grammar books and rectify. The best way to learn grammar language now is read newspaper, read your books, try to memorize nice sentences. अलग से what is noun, what is verb, what is adjective, what are gerunds, वो नहीं कर पाओगे आप. तो आप जितना भी ठीक कर पाओ ऐसे पढ़ते पढ़ते ठीक करो. Man that way is very smart. If you keep on observing grammar aspects in sentence और sentence को कुछ याद कर लो. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपका ग्रामर एकदम एकदम कुछ का कुछ ऐसा नहीं है. कुछ एरियाज में दिक्कत होती होगी आपको. Okay, so if you're patient and you keep efforts, okay, वो हो जाएगा. And unless your grammar is really very bad, evaluation में इतना मैटर करता नहीं है. We have seen, we also overlook spelling mistakes, we also overlook tense mistakes. बच्चे गलत कर देते हैं. बट अगर आपके राइटिंग में आइडियाज आर वेल कम्युनिकेटेड, आपका कोर थीसिस बहुत अच्छा है, आपके ओपिनियन आर्ग्यूमेंट्स आर वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग, even with some amount of flaws in grammar, you can still sail through. Okay, so but remember that learn whatever you can. And वैसे देव, how do you address this question? लैंग्वेज कैसे ठीक करें, लैंग्वेज ग्रामर कैसे ठीक करें, वो अपने
या
आप में टास्क हो जाता है.
मुझे लगता है कि लैंग्वेज और ग्रामर दो अलग चीज है। सो यू गाइस नीड टू फर्स्ट सेपरेट द टू, बिकॉज एक ग्रामर जो है इट्स अ वेरी बेसिक थिंग, राइट? कैन आई राइट अ सेंटेंस दैट मेक्स grammatical sense? It is not incorrect in its grammar. It presents the right idea. Language is like, okay, are you using the right words in the right, do you have the right vocabulary? How is the sentence constructed? It's a different level of difficulty. अगर ये गेम होता तो ग्रामर एक बॉटम लेवल पे होता और लैंग्वेज वोकेबलरी ये सब एडिशनल लेवल्स होता गेम का. So, I will look it up. I think there might be many apps that help you with grammar. Like Duolingo you use for language learning. I'm sure there are plenty of nice apps that teach you English grammar in a gamified way. वो खेलते खेलते weekend में you can develop that stuff. You don't need you don't need to be like Shakespeare for UPSC essays, right?
Yeah.
By the way, they say that Shakespeare also went to grammar school. Okay, so you don't have to worry at all. I think हम लोग शब्बीर और मैं बार बार वही बोलते हैं कि तुम्हारे sentences we go to the extent that you can write some amount of telescopic writing also possible. सारा telescopic मत करो, it will look like a GS answer and all that. But basic grammar should do it. You don't have to be like a James Bond of English, right? So, but I'll find out if there is a good app. I'll recommend it for grammar. Kaushik, good evening. Aditya says, sir, one doubt, can we introduce philosophy in the introduction itself? Existentialism in the topic of last assignment. Acha, Aditya, you can, but remember specifically about assignment 69, although Kemo has said it, the topic may not necessarily be directly a thesis of existentialism. So I know Kemo is the connection, but the topic is basically saying how adversity brings the best out of you. That, well, there are links to existentialism, so be careful. See, I always say, ऐसा कोई rule नहीं है. If you have your thesis, you have understood the topic, you can write poetry, you can quote philosophy, you can write prose, you can start with an example like Prince does. He takes an example of his grandma, what his interaction with his grandma was. This happened and grandma said this. It's very nice, it's very conversational. But most important is you should connect with the topic. वो अगर नहीं हुआ तो कोई रेसिपी काम नहीं करेगा. Cricket shots, welcome. Always you put a smile on our faces, so thank you for that. Mini is saying, sir, could you suggest ways to improve articulation by writing mini essays or the like? Shabbir, if you can take this question.
Yes, Mini. Okay. In fact, that is why we encourage you to be part of our Telegram channel. Essays with Edukemy में हम बार बार बोलते हैं कि आप पूरा ऐसे मत लिखिए. Write one paragraph, write one core idea, write the thesis, try debating on one dimension. तो पूरा ऐसे नहीं लिखना चाहिए आपको. पूरा ऐसे बहुत बाद में आता है. पहले आप कुछ शब्द सीख लीजिए, पहले कुछ आप बेसिक राइटिंग सीख कर फिर आप प्रॉपर एसेज लिखिए. So absolutely. And all of you इसको नहीं पता है, most of you know this. We have a Telegram channel. It's a open channel for essays. They regularly engages there. आपको टॉपिक मिलता है, असाइनमेंट मिलता है, आप लिखते हैं, आप डिस्कस करते हैं. Lot of learning goes into that process. So Mini, you're welcome. Essays with Edukemy Telegram channel. Okay, if maybe one of your friends can pull out the link and paste it on the chat. Okay,
It's
Mini
in the
can
description.
directly.
It's in the description.
It's
Yeah.
in the description. Yes. Okay. So yes,
Shabbir,
Debarka Aditya. Good evening. Good evening.
I think Hitesh has joined us on the Zoom link.
Okay.
Welcome, Hitesh. So, Shabbir, I think we can get started. We have 15 minutes gone already. I think let's get on with it. I shared some, likely or potential evaluation sheets with you.
Yes.
And I gave you the tough job of selecting which one we should do. So, I
So
think let's go there.
yeah. So I
So
think
आज के लकी ड्रॉ में किसका नाम निकला है, यू फिगर इट आउट. ओके,
I like this one.
Yeah.
Um, pain, a teacher disguised as suffering.
Okay, very nice.
Okay. I mean, we can discuss. I like the topic. Okay, ऐसे तो हम discuss करेंगे ही. Is this fine? I have zoomed in.
Yeah, looks good.
Okay. So topic is pain, a teacher disguised as suffering. By the way, this is a very common theme across your years. Okay. Adversity as not a negative thing, courage and challenge as an important thing, learning from life experiences. ये काफी life and living के theme में ये काफी common theme है. So nice if you can prepare on some of these topics. Okay, so pain, a teacher as suffering. Okay, we start now. It says Vidya, an 8-year-old girl suffers from a rare condition called congenital insensitivity to pain, a disorder in which a person cannot feel physical pain. For most of us, this may sound like a blessing, but for Vidya, it is a lifelong burden. She often breaks her bones, gets bruises or serious wounds, but she cannot sense them. Once, as a toddler, she scratched the cornea out of her eye while itching, completely unaware of the damage. Vidya doesn't feel pain, yet she suffers endlessly. Wow, a very well written. Vidya doesn't feel pain, but she suffers endlessly. Her story highlights the importance of pain and how it is, in fact, a great teacher in disguise. A quick, maybe I leave it for all of you to reflect on this. There's a small anecdote type of beginning. There's a girl called Vidya who has some condition. She cannot feel pain, and that while it might look like a blessing, that's where the problem is, and some problem. And I think I like this sentence: Vidya doesn't feel pain, yet she suffers endlessly. Her story highlights the importance of pain, how it is, in fact, a great teacher in disguise. So, Deb, your verdict here? Your verdict in the first
I
two
actually
paragraphs?
quite like it. I think there is a there is a some simplicity in the way the person has approached the topic, and the person has exhibited understanding of the topic, and he's coming in from an unusual angle that he's basically saying the reverse is not true, right? Therefore, the topic must be true. So when you don't feel pain, you don't understand or you don't learn anything about life. So I think that's an unusual angle, the simplicity, and I think he has understood the topic. That is very clear. And what I also liked, Shabbir, is the readability of the first.
Yeah.
I did not have to look hard and open my specs and look at try to read this. It's see, handwriting is not super, but it's very legibly written, and very it read like a Malcolm Gladwell book. Okay, so in the new age, and this is a distinction. I would spend 30 seconds on it. In the old age, like compare a Charles Dickens or a George Orwell and how they would write versus like a new age authors like Arundhati Roy or a Malcolm Gladwell. Maybe not so much Arundhati, but someone like Malcolm Gladwell. I think the idea is driving the point home than descriptive, elaborative text. So this person has done really well there. So communication, the writing actually communicates. I don't know what you felt, Shabbir. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm absolutely okay, and I like your insights here. Okay, we don't notice sometimes, but it's very smooth, very clean, simple. Okay, so bang on. I think the topic is addressed. And what I like is this one technique. Okay, as frequently as possible without sounding repetitive, try bringing the topic words into your essay. जैसे ये वाला end में, okay, it is in fact a teacher in disguise. Okay, जो टॉपिक कह रहा है उसी के कुछ की वर्ड्स, उसके alternate words को आप बार बार रिपीट कर देते हो. Okay, once in 2 pages, once in 3 pages. This is a very good technique of ensuring that you don't leave the topic. Okay, so I like this technique. So it's a subtle way of ensuring that your essay continues to be relevant. Online guys, देखो मैं और देव ये काम कर चुके हैं, but I think you guys must also start contributing to the assessment. Maybe you make a small rubric, like quality of argument, okay, 0 to 10 में, the examples 0 to 10 में, ऐसे 2-3 parameters में give your marks also, so that you know that what you're thinking is right, wrong. तो आप भी participate करो, all of you, online guys. Okay, we go on. Pain is a sensory warning and internal alarm system that tells us when our body is in danger. It teaches us not to push beyond our physical limits and prevents long-term damages. Pain is more than a survival mechanism, like a mother enduring excruciating labor pain not only gives birth to a child, but also a stronger, more selfless version of herself. Pain, so the pain disguised as suffering starts teaching you from birth. Its presence becomes visible only when we realize its purpose. Well, I like the usage here. It is a sensory warning, okay, goes deeper, that pain is more than a survival mechanism. Okay, a good analogy of a mother and labor pains, and that it is teaching us, and only when we realize the purpose. Okay, then let me move on in this. But pain's teaching extends for beyond physical. The teaching extends beyond physical. Every human being undergoes emotional pain, heartbreak, loss, disappointment, or failure. These experiences, though agonizing, shape maturity and emotional intelligence. Pain teaches humility and empathy. Only those who have suffered can understand others' pain. For example, Buddha's realization of human suffering led to enlightenment. Pain tests conviction and meaning to joy, of joy. Okay. It makes us realize that without darkness, light has no value. We begin to appreciate the smaller moments of happiness. I think we need to catch a breath here. Quickly, if I give my point here, because I like the intro, really nice, smooth, simple. Very interestingly, the essay goes deeper. I didn't realize I have gone deeper, and picks up pretty good, nice discussions. Pain as more than sensory warning, pain as more than survival mechanism, pain has a purpose, pain teaches us humility, and analogy of darkness. So I think the ideas are very good ideas. I think language, I think I don't find maybe couple of word slips. Language is fine. I like the arguments also, but I think what could have helped is if you had put maybe a subheading, something for me to know, okay, you are switching gears. Because when we're reading fast, my personal experience is, okay, there are moments when I can miss something. So एक suggestion होता, if not here, maybe here, somewhere एक heading हो जाता कि now you're switching gear. that pain is a teacher, okay, through its alarm mechanism and its beyond survival mechanism. ऐसे कुछ लिख देता है, very simple one. Okay, but otherwise I think it's very smooth. I didn't realize it has gone deeper, and every idea resonates with the topic. It goes back and ties the topic. ये टेक्निक है, देखो बार बार ये वर्ड टीचिंग यहाँ भी आ गया, टीचिंग यहाँ भी आ गया, इसके पहले भी टीचिंग it pushes the body to know its limits and so on. Okay, so that's my quick assessment. Dave?
Yeah, I totally agree. And I was thinking that it's a lost opportunity because the person is making some really, really nice, deep arguments without actually calling out and underlining. I mean, he or she has underlined the things, but the subheadings are missing, and subheadings would have been really, really nice. Right. And I like your analogy of switching gears, right? So when the vehicle starts, Bajaj Super, Bajaj Chetak, oh, first gear, second gear, third gear, this is progressive movement towards the goal, right? So when you put subheadings, that is something that is established in the mind of the evaluator. Okay, मैं यहाँ से यहाँ जा रहा हूँ, वहाँ से वहाँ जा रहा हूँ. Like I explained you with an analogy, like I'm going from Delhi to Bhubaneswar, right? There is a heuristics. दिल्ली से भुवनेश्वर कैसे पहुंचे? पहले आगरा जाएंगे, फिर वहां से झांसी जाएंगे, झांसी से ग्वालियर जाएंगे, ग्वालियर से जबलपुर जाएंगे, जबलपुर से संबलपुर जाएंगे, संबलपुर से भुवनेश्वर. So these stops on the way are your subheadings. And when you put that, charter the course कि दिल्ली से भुवनेश्वर ऐसे जाना है. By the way, my hometown is Bhubaneswar, so I love taking that analogy. But एक एक लड़ी बन जाता है, right? So there is a clear thread of things jumping from one argument to the other. And that is very, very powerful. It is the storyboard, or as Shabbir has so many times told you all, the essay canvas, right? एक structure है तुम्हारा, outline है, ये clear हो जाता है. Yeah, Shabbir.
Okay, okay. Yeah, Kaushik says pain as a connection of love between mother and child. Yes, right. Okay, so good. Nothing amiss. I think I like the essay. And what is nice in this essay is sticking with the topic. Okay, and good arguments. Okay. So pain teaches a humility. Okay. And Nelson Mandela's life is a testament to how pain can become a teacher in disguise. The pain of isolation, humiliation, and equality transformed his personality to be more resilient and calm. The wisdom that he sought taught him to cherish every small joy like voting, commuting, and liberty for the Black people. Even in the realm of discovery, pain has guided progress. Pain has guided progress. Okay, pain is guiding. Okay, ठीक है. Thomas Edison's repeated failures illuminated the path to invention. Marie Curie's hardship
Could not dim. Could not dim her.
Okay, could not. I was struggling with the word. Could not dim her scientific curiosity. Pain, when reflected upon, disciplines the mind and strengthens the will. It teaches perseverance better than comfort ever could. I like the way he or she is framing the sentences. Okay, but quickly अगर मैं बोलूँ ना, ये वाला part थोड़ा सा मुझे stretched लगा. While I like the idea of Mandela, but maybe something more concrete could have helped. Not that it's wrong, it's perfectly fine. मोर कौन से कि ये जो एकदम बस एक assumption है कि एडिसन ने कुछ सीखा. Okay, so I always say this कि when you give an example, don't just mention and move on. Rather than giving 3 examples, इस पैराग्राफ में एक मंडेला का एग्जाम्पल है, इस सेक्शन में एडिसन का है, मैडम क्यूरी का है। इससे अच्छा होता आप एक ही देते, बट बताते कि वो पेन उसको क्या सिखाया और कैसे सिखाया। Okay, the elaboration would have helped more. Otherwise, Marie Curie's hardship and curiosity, I do not know if it was pain which was driving her. Okay, so nothing wrong as such, but it would help that ways. And this passage was nice. Pain, when referred upon, disciplines the mind and strengthens the will. It teaches perseverance better than comfort ever could. Um, for example, history of UPSC examination has witnessed many average students with humble backgrounds cracking one of the world's toughest examination. This only shows a diamond can be forced out of rock under extreme pressure and heat. Yet, not all pain enlightens. To romanticize suffering is to overlook cruelty. Unchecked pain. Oh, this is again a switch of gear. Deb, I gave my points quickly. You want to add something to this section?
Yeah. I think you captured things very well. I just have one additional point. I think there is difference from learning from failure and pain being a disguised teacher. Failure and pain, somewhere the student has equated the two. I think failure is different from pain. Okay. Failure causes pain. Failure is not pain. The same thing as pain.
Yeah,
Pain,
excellent. Yeah.
pain can happen even without failure. Pain can happen because of many other things. External circumstances, कुछ भी हो सकता है. Failure and pain are not the same thing. So I think he's gone a little bit astray. But I'm willing to overlook it because of the strong comebacks that she has had. But I think I kind of keep thinking about what you said earlier, Shabbir. The subheadings are missing. The opportunity is lost. It would have been such a awesome essay if I just had subheadings. And then it would have gone to some other level. So clearly that is a missing thing for me. And I do agree that these examples are a little bit of stretch. They felt stretch, and I completely agree. Madam Curie may have been elaborated. Edison, again, failure, not pain. Well, failure, it's like not a not a direct association. Uh,
Yeah. And I think this particular UPSC example, I could have done without it. I have a feeling, Dave, I may be wrong here. Good beginning, good arguments, well written, but somewhere I think maybe getting impatient. Okay, not developing the argument to the possible scope, which was there. Okay,
yeah.
so in trying to make the essay rich, जो एक डिस्कशन को जो प्रॉपर नरेशन करना है वो नहीं हो रहा है। आप
Yeah.
सही चीज उठा रहे हो, यू आर पिकिंग अप द राइट थिंग्स, बट यू आर नॉट डूइंग जस्टिस टू व्हाट यू हैव सेड। ये बहुत पावरफुल आइडिया है।
So,
आई लव दिस आइडिया। या देव।
yeah. And I was going to say, let's just go deeper a little bit on that UPSC example. Basically, the argument you're making is an average student with humble background succeeds, and you are talking about a diamond in the rough. What is the core value of that transformation? That true talent is disguised sometimes. You have to work at uh, you know, um, pulling it out, right? You're extracting it. So true talent is hidden sometimes, and you have to. So this is very, very different from pain. And so if you would have written UPSC, how painful the UPSC process is and what it teaches you, then it makes sense. So I think, in my mind, the extraction of a diamond from an ore, or the hidden nature of talent, not dismissing somebody with average and humble background. So basically, don't judge a book by its cover, something like that, right? That is not the same thing as pain.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah.
I think ये जो idea, it teaches us perseverance. Okay, I think he or she was trying to establish this through this example. Okay, but वो हो नहीं पाया ठीक से.
हो नहीं पाया. Exactly.
Okay, so see, the good thing about this essay is whoever is writing has a thinking mind. He or she is not dumping, okay, anything. Thinking mind, but ideas are not being developed well. आइडियाज को आप डीप जाकर उसको प्रॉपर समझाकर उसको एक एस्टैब्लिश नहीं कर रहे हो, एंड यू आर मोर इनटू लाइक से जस्ट पॉइंटिंग आउट द कोर आइडियाज, not taking it through the possible scope of okay that idea. ठीक है?
So Shabbir, just to stretch the idea, the person is actually an uncut diamond. Okay. So, or it is hidden inside. उसको निकालना पड़ेगा. See, this is also something I tell students regularly, that अपने essay को mystery novel मत बनाओ. Okay. Nobody has the patience to read through the mystery and discover the real thing. It is not a mystery novel, right? It is your argument should directly speak to the topic and elaborate it. So,
Yeah,
Mr.
so
or Miss Uncut Diamond, let's keep going. Okay.
okay, यहाँ से ना चेंज हुआ. I notice has stopped. Okay, ये काउंटर पॉइंट आ गया. Yet not all pain enlightens. To romanticize suffering is to overlook cruelty. Unchecked pain can crush the spirit and darken perception. History and literature are replete with examples where pain consumed rather than created. The artist Van Gogh, whose works radiate brilliance, succumbed to despair. Many victims of trauma are left scarred and silent and uh, and not wiser. Excessive suffering without support or meaning, without support or meaning, can erode the very will to live. Hmm.
यहाँ पे आई थिंक शबीर, एक बात मैं बोलूंगा कि वैन गो का जो एग्जाम्पल है, बाय द वे वैन गो इज वन ऑफ माय फेवरेट, सो आई हैड टू रिस्पॉन्ड टू दिस. आई थिंक गुड पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, बट वैन गो का एग्जाम्पल तुम दोनों तरीके से ले सकते हो. इनफैक्ट द पेन दैट ही वेंट थ्रू केम आउट इन हिज पेंटिंग्स. That's what they say, right? The paintings were so great because of the pain. So, in a way, pain was a teacher. Pain was his teacher. Pain was also something that, progressively took him to more and more darkness individually as a person. So, I think it is a great example for this essay, and you could actually explore both sides of what happened to him. That would have been a really, really awesome. Like, again, uncut diamond, you are touching the right areas, but थोड़ा और इसमें घुसना चाहिए.
Yeah, so my point is, I think ये थोड़ा formula write-up हो गया. The essay is still not developed. Okay, when you have a topic, you develop it, you argue it, make it rich. Okay, then you move towards the counter argument.
Correct.
आपने अच्छे अच्छे आइडियाज को शोकेस कर दिया, बट आप उसको लॉजिकल एंड तक लेके नहीं गए, एंड देन यू ट्राइड काउंटर आर्ग्यूमेंट, बट आई डोंट थिंक इट्स अ फॉर्मूला यू आर जस्ट अपना कि हाँ काउंटर आर्ग्यूमेंट होना चाहिए तो आपने डाल दिया. दिस इज नॉट वेल रिसर्च्ड, नॉट वेल डिस्कस्ड. बाय द वे गाइस, आई सजेस्ट वन थिंग टू ऑल ऑफ यू. देखो, आप अभी ना एसेज सीख रहे हो. There should be no compulsion to write the essay in 2 or 3 hours. अब सीख रहे हो, आप वैन गो का एग्जाम्पल देना चाहते हो, ओके, तो अच्छा ये होता कि आप थोड़ा सा सर्च कर लेते, ओके, चैट जीपीटी को पूछ लो, यूकी को पूछ लो, आस्क ऑन द गूगल कि can we give Van Gogh's example as somebody who was benefited by pain, suffering, loss, okay, और कैसे लिखेंगे, रिसर्च कर लेते आप. I want to give the example of Madame Curie and how pain probably taught her. What can I write about her life and work where I can establish pain was teaching her? ये पूछ लेते आप ना, rather than 3 examples आप एक एग्जाम्पल देते. ओके, सो अगर आपको ऐसे करके लिखने में 5-6 घंटा लग रहा है, सो बी इट. ओके, आई डोंट नो देव इफ यू डिसएग्री विद दिस पॉइंट और नॉट, बट आई थिंक जब आइडिया है तो डेवलप कर लो ना, ये तो जल्दी क्या है खत्म करने का.
एग्जैक्टली. एंड नेट प्रैक्टिस में कुछ और होता है और मैच प्रैक्टिस में कुछ और होता है, राइट? तुम पहले टेक्निक सीख जाओ, then you get into the match practice. Match practice teaches you some other things, like how do you perform under pressure, time pressure hai, how do you make a quick outline of the topic. There are many other things, but if your learning cannot happen on the match, your learning happens in the net practice with a coach. So let that coach be one of us, let that coach be Yuki, whatever it is that you're using. बट एक बार ये अगर देख लिया कि वैन गो को अच्छा 2 तरीके से यूज कर सकते हैं, या मैरी क्यूरी एग्जाम्पल ऐसे यूज कर सकते हैं, यू कैन अप्लाई दैट एनीवेयर देर इज अ पेन रिलेटेड टॉपिक, राइट? पेन बीइंग अ टीचर, adversity bringing out the best. These are all examples that can be reused. तो इनको भी थोड़ा डीप में जाके तुम्हें सोचना चाहिए. Don't be in the hurry to write. That is why हम लोग टेलीग्राम चैनल में बस आई ऑलवेज आस्क कि 5 आर्ग्यूमेंट मुझे दे दो, और कुछ नहीं चाहिए, बाकी सब हो जाएगा. But if you are not able to write those 5 arguments, and that is again something that this essay completely proves. It completely proves our process, because if you look at this essay, क्या मिसिंग है इसमें? बहुत अच्छा, राइट? All the points are great. We are saying it's an uncut diamond. The 5 clear arguments are missing. The storyboard is missing. The string of pearls is missing. So, and that happens in your net practice, not in match practice. So, Shabbir, totally agree. The development of the idea has got a lot to do with the string of pearls or the essay canvas or the storyboard. How the idea develops from one thing to the other, how the train reaches Bhubaneswar from Delhi, right? ये बहुत important है. Hopefully, that's the benefit you will get out of the channel that we run, that we focus on that. Arguments develop karna.
Is writing, you need to go deep into dimensions and not wide in trying to force new dimensions. आप किसी एक पे, इसी में मैं पूरा ऐसे लिख देता कि वैन गो के एक्सपीरियंस के साथ में विद नेल्सन मंडेला, ये 2 काफी था.
काफी था.
नो नीड टू गो इनटू मैडम क्यूरी और बुद्धा और एडिसन, कोई जरूरत नहीं था. ये 2 एग्जाम्पल आप चले जाते. आई मीन, एंड नहीं पता है तो आप पूछ लो ना. दैट्स द होल आइडिया. I think we must demonstrate how to use Yuki to generate ideas. Let me finish this off. Maybe we can spend a few minutes on that also.
Sure,
I think students don't know how to use some tools. Anyways, let's get on. So counterpoint, okay, acknowledged, but not very happy with it. Then it says, for instance, the people who are in poverty and face day-night discrimination can't see the pain as teacher, but see it as master who sadistically enjoys their suffering. Sometimes the pain of being unable to meet basic needs pushes them towards unethical means. Okay, according to National Crime Records Bureau (NCRB), people with history of psychological pain and desperation have a higher tendency of committing crimes in future, from a theft, burglary, robbery to suicide, murder, and sexual violence. And this very act traps them in a cycle of endless pain. What then separates? Okay, I see the points here. My quick input says, जब काउंटर पॉइंट दे रहे हो, इतने स्ट्रॉन्ग काउंटर पॉइंट्स मत दो कि द टॉपिक गेट्स compromised. Okay, I think pain as a teacher and pain as a problem को आपने almost same दे दिया. I mean, look at this. I have read how many? I have read 7 pages. Like, if you can see my screen here, just for the sake of idea. Okay, page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, 5, 6, 7 page पढ़ा. 7 पेज में पहला 4 पेज इज पेन एज टीचिंग, और ये 3 पेज हैज बिकम पेन एज अ प्रॉब्लम. ओके, सो ऑलमोस्ट आपने 50-50 कर दिया यहाँ पर. यू आर काइंड ऑफ कॉम्प्रोमाइजिंग, ओके, योर ओन essay. That's my quick observation here. Okay, these are strong, and pain as the reason for crime and all of that. Okay, that's okay. What then separates destructive pain from transformative pain? Okay, you come back to topic again. What separates? What stops ourselves to see pain as teachers? The answer is mindset and the ability to interpret suffering not as punishment but as potential. Viktor Franklin, the Holocaust survivor, wrote, "Those who have a why to live can bear almost how. Pain reveals its teaching only to those who seek meaning in it. A resilient mind turns adversity into insight, while a despair one sees it as darkness." So, yeah, Dave, you want to say something? I've spoken for quite a while now.
Yeah, I think from the counterpoint onwards, the essay has taken a downturn. It has gone, कहते हैं ना, gone off the rails. गाड़ी पटरी पे चल रही थी बहुत अच्छे से, और स्पीड भी पकड़ रही थी, राइट? एकदम से पटरी से निकल गई, एंड इट्स गॉन in a different way. And I feel like the problem is that the person did not make an outline of what the coherency, the building of the arguments, where the counterpoint should have come, how much. See, it's not an argumentative essay. It's clearly saying pain is a teacher in disguise, or teacher disguised as suffering, right? It is not argumentative. It is clearly establishing a point. So if you are giving a counterpoint, you gave it too early and you elaborated too much on it. थोड़ा लेट से लाता और थोड़ा कम बोलता मैं. And I think there is no value in underlying things like NCRB. Okay, so that jumped out at me. All right, so you are potentially saying that there is some validity in what I'm saying, but it's not. Essay is not about, you know, it's not so much about factual accuracy when you are talking about a philosophical topic. If you had been proving why crime rates are dropping in some economy question or a social justice topic, I would have underlined NCRB. So I think that's what my thoughts are, Shabbir. I liked the essay right up to the counterpoint. I was willing to give a pass on the subheadings, although I know that I feel like ये बंदे में दम है, right? Or this girl has merit, and I somehow want to support this person, जो कि हम लोग बात कर रहे थे last time also, right? We secretly want the good ones to succeed because we want them on our team. वो मुझे थोड़ा, वो सेंस थोड़ा वीक हो गया after the counter argument. And again, I felt, you know, the why to live can bear almost anyhow. A nice, cute try, okay, but I don't think it fits the bill because it talks about the purpose of life. Again, I made the distinction of failure versus pain. Now you are mixing purpose and pain. I think the discovery of purpose makes you want to survive pain. That is a different thing than pain is a teacher. So I think there are slight nuances. जो कहते हैं ना शबीर that archery में the person is shooting arrows and ये bullseye नहीं हो रहा है, right? ये थोड़ा बाहर जा रहा है. So I think repeatedly I see so many examples where things are slightly off. So my verdict is this person hasn't clearly separated pain from failure, pain from purpose, pain from resilience. These, so I think students, if I don't know if you saw my latest video on YouTube, I did the same thing with courage. एक बार एग्जाम्पल में शबीर क्या हुआ, one of these recent examples in Telegram, the topic was on courage, and students confused courage with fighting spirit. They confused courage with confidence. They confused courage with many other things. So I had given in my video, I said, okay, here is courage, here is fighting spirit, here is courage, here is confidence. So these are related ideas. Like in this case, pain ke saath, resiliency and humility, purpose, it's all combined, right? It's all linked, but you have to say, तो hodgepodge लगेगा, right? You have to separate the threads. It is all tangled up in your mind. It basically tells me exactly that your mind is tangled up in these concepts. So your mind is not critically thinking about the concept of pain. And what is the UPSC syllabus saying about essays? Critical thinking. It is a measure of how your critical thinking comes out. So your critical thinking has not come out. So that's I don't know if that was a little bit harsh, but that's what I felt in right after the counterpoint. तब तक ठीक था और उसके बाद थोड़ा I have a problem.
Yeah, I just listed down. Okay, pain teaches perseverance, empathy, patience, humility, new coping techniques, and okay, why it teaches so. Okay, so मुझे भी वो दिख नहीं रहा था, and you're right, you got the point there. The clarity of what pain means is missing. The clarity of pain teaches. Okay, वो part शायद missing है. So yeah, so the pain by itself is not noble. बहुत जगह बच्चे आप N को M कर रहे हो. Okay. It becomes meaningful only when now you have shifted. वो teaching से meaningful में shift हो गए. Meaningful only when it awakens consciousness and compassion. Buddha's teaching that pain is inevitable but suffering is optional makes us realize that attitude that sees discomfort, movement as potential mentor. Buddhism and our Indian culture taught how to master your mind. This pain is not life's punishment, it's a profound lesson. Perhaps, like Vidya asks to feel pain from God, hope we can to sense disguised teacher within. Well, thought dramatic है, but Kaushik is
I think Shabbir, the student, fell into the trap of Buddha, Gandhi, and Mandela again.
yes.
Okay, थोड़ा बहुत yeah. So it is a borrowed recipe. Mark my words, students. I'm saying it's a borrowed. The student has used a borrowed recipe. Why I say borrowed? Because the person has not thought about this concept on their own. Clearly, वो missing है. डेवलप नहीं किया है आइडिया को, स्टोरी बोर्ड मिसिंग है, क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग मिसिंग है, दीज आर द थिंग्स, स्ट्रक्चर मिसिंग है, so many things that are wrong with it. But what we started with, Shabbir, I totally feel this. It's a missed opportunity. The concept was very clear when you started, but it got muddled up on the way. तो गाड़ी स्टार्ट हुआ एकदम सही से, राइट? यू हैड द जीपीएस, गाड़ी, देयर वाज फ्यूल इन द कार एंड सब चाय वाय सब रखा था, एकदम बढ़िया स्नैक्स, तैयारी बहुत अच्छी थी, राइट? बट एज दे से, यू गो इन अ बॉक्सिंग रिंग विथ फुल प्रिपरेशन, लेकिन पहला पंच खाए और सब प्रिपरेशन भूल गए। ये थोड़ा ऐसा ही हो गया कि maybe it was the pressure of time. And back to your point, Shabbir, and I think this person really needs more net practice before they can do match practice. And yeah, that's what I would say. I don't know what, how would you summarize it, Shabbir?
Yeah, you said it all, Dave. Said it all. It went down the slippery slope pretty fast. Okay, later half part में. But I mean, I'm not dismissive of this essay. The essay has shown potential. It's not some of the essays we read earlier were almost disasters type. We ऐसा नहीं था. Okay, not like what some of the better ones could have been. If I ask the students, आप बताओ आपका क्या marks, okay, you think is right? Where is Shekhawati Jatni? अरे she is not there or he is not there. हमसे हिंदी बुलवा के आप खुद गायब हो गए ना के. Yeah, guys, let's see. Aditya, Kaushik, Parvez, Piyush, Debarga, okay, cricket shots, global world. आप बताओ, महक, आप बताओ कितने मार्क्स दोगे आप 125 से? So if I make blocks, okay, make blocks say less than 50, 60. This is more than 130. Okay, in the range of 100, 120, in the range of, okay, sorry, ये तो मैंने 200 वाला बता दिया आपको. So let me rewrite this.
Piyush says 45 to 50, Debarga 55, Mehak 50 to 55, Kaushik 50 to 55,
Mhm.
Prince 40 to 45. So मतलब 40 to 55 is what mostly what you all think. Cricket shots 45.
So more than 60 तो नहीं जा रहा ये.
So if my maths is right, your average is 47.5, something around that. That is what the students are telling us.
So
Aditya
the
says
range of
50. Okay.
90, 100 में ये ऐसे फंस गया. अगर दो ऐसे होगा, the way the essay started, it would have been 75 plus. Okay. But then okay, the last mile miss. So 50. Yeah. So I'm sure. देखो, I hope one more thing. I don't want to sound immodest there. But at least आप देख पा रहे हो ना, me and they, we check paper or essays. We are not commenting on add a story, good point, try a conclusion, give an example. हम वो नहीं कर रहे हैं. Okay. We are catching the essay in terms of the overall feel. Okay. We don't comment on language also, grammar also. Okay. Mistake दिखता है, but that are not the more decisive ones. ठीक है, सो ये भी इंपॉर्टेंट चीज जाने आप लोग कि चेकिंग एक्चुअली कैसे होता है, व्हाट इज नोटिस एंड व्हाट्स नॉट. Dave, I would like to show the students of about how Yuki works. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Let's
So
do
guys,
it.
all of you should log into askyuki.com and look at this. We have this chat field. This कि you can have something on essays, frame your essays. यहाँ लिखा हुआ है. Okay. And if I type this, okay, pain, pain, a teacher in disguise. आप जब ऐसे लिखो तो मेरे ख्याल से all of you start from here. Go to Yuki, pain as disguise. You have clicked frame your essays. And now you ask, let's see. आपके पास एक रेडीमेड टूल है. Okay, why do you want to reinvent the wheel?
और अगर लिखना नहीं चाहते हो तो you can speak to Yuki also. There is a button you can
Yeah,
speak.
yeah. Okay.
Now, इसको I think Shabbir, one thing I'll say before you jump into the details, शब्बीर और मैंने खुद इसका prompt डिजाइन किया है. Okay, so this is basically a product of our process, of our essay writing process, कि एक जल्दी फास्ट तरीके से कैसे आप लोगों को बोला जाए कि क्या क्या इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स हो सकते हैं. शब्बीर, या दैट्स
I'm surprised, maybe because we have done it. देखो आप यहाँ पर सारे words आ रहे हैं. Okay, pain fosters resilience and strength. Okay, pain cultivates empathy, compassion. Pain drives reflection and transformation. That's how it teaches. That's how it's a teacher. Pain acts as a deterrent and corrective force. That's how it teaches. Pain inspires creativity. और सब में कुछ आर्ग्यूमेंट अगर आप इतना उतार भी लेते हो ना बेटा, दिस इज 700-800 वर्ड. यही आपके हेडिंग्स बनते हैं. ओके, in essence it says pain, though unwelcome, is an indispensable teacher. It shapes individual societies. It instills resilience, empathy, wisdom, driving progress, transformation. Rather than merely seeking to avoid pain, embracing its lessons can lead to profound growth, compassion, and so on. The way forward lies in recognizing pain not as an enemy, but as a disguised mentor. Examples, Swami Vivekananda's views on sufferings. आप यूकी में टाइप करो और इसको आप ऐसे बना के लिखो. सब कुछ फ्रॉम स्क्रैच सोचने की जरूरत नहीं है. Okay, it starts that way. While most strive to avoid pain, it emerges as a mentor, imparting lessons. Pain, as disguise, encapsulates the paradoxical value of suffering, highlighting its role in fostering strength, and so on.
Yeah, see, I think one thing I would mention is don't shy away from using AI. It is not like you will stop thinking. You should brainstorm with this. It's actually a good brainstorming tool. एक पेन के बारे में लिखा है. What is courage? Just ask. Frame your essay. What is courage? Yuki will give you certain things. And that will become your lesson, right? जो टीचर क्लास में बोलते हैं वो यूकी पेज में बोलेगा, राइट? यू कैन ब्रेनस्टॉर्म विद इट, से ओके यूकी ने 5 चीज बोले about courage, right? I didn't understand maybe this fifth point about pain. Pain acts as deterrent and corrective force. Give me more examples on pain, how pain acts as a deterrent and corrective force. वो तुम्हें, it will give you something more. So I think brainstorm and study with it, then it will get really really valuable. फिर तुम बिकॉज ये दुनिया भर का इंफॉर्मेशन इट इज प्रोसेसिंग एंड गिविंग टू यू, सो आई थिंक दैट्स वेरी पावरफुल, राइट? इट्स लाइक हैविंग अ स्मार्ट असिस्टेंट.
Dave, I wrote, I
Yeah.
want to use Nelson Mandela's example. Okay, give me details. Okay, so Mandela was imprisoned, physical labor, isolation, it was pain, but it strengthened him. Okay, and that allowed him to empathize deeply. And because of that, he learned reconciliation rather than revenge. His whole concept of Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Okay, it taught him the collective pain of the
Yeah.
South Africans, his vision of Rainbow Nation. I mean, that's it. You can't write more than this. It's
Yeah,
a lot of content.
scroll down, Shabbir. It's given you a table too.
Yeah. Okay.
What type of pain, what transformation you achieved, what social. It's
Social
even
physical
given you
pain.
a mnemonic.
Okay, severe. Okay. Somebody
And I
wants
think
to.
it also, just click on the infographic once, Shabbir. It also gave you a nice,
Ah,
okay, there you go.
his legacy. Okay, the teacher taught him moral courage, peace over revenge. It transformed him as his vision. Okay. एक एग्जाम्पल आप ढंग से कर लेते, you were home.
Yeah.
I was just trying, Dave, on what you told me about Van Gogh. So let me try Van Gogh here.
Yeah, let's see.
With Yuki, it's like you have Shabbir Sir and Deb Sir sitting on your table and teaching you. Okay,
Yeah.
there it is. Pain through rejection, failure, battle depression, loneliness. Okay, and his pain expressed through colors, brushstrokes, themes.
See, this is what I was talking about, that pain shaped his artistic expression. Now, using this example, you can actually write about Starry Nights and the Potato Eaters, and just go take a look at the images of those paintings, and why he did those paintings, what pain inside him caused him to paint it. There you have a fantastic illustration of this essay, right? So I think today, while using Yuki in this way, you learned something that invariably positioned you much better in terms of addressing the concept of pain. ठीक है, तो ये बहुत फंडामेंटल है. एंड you can go check the Potato Eaters. In fact, the Potato Eaters is one of his paintings where he looked at the peasants and the peasants' life and how they are so they do physical labor throughout the day, and at night they just have potatoes to eat, and that's all they can eat. And he chose to depict it, and it is a very dark painting, and that's there you go, right? Expression, artistic expression coming out because of him seeing the pain. Okay, now contrast this with failure teaching you something. That is a very different concept, right? This was not Van Gogh's failure that the peasants were eating potatoes, was it? But he saw pain in the society, and that made him. So I'm just trying to demonstrate the difference in the two concepts, and how when you use the right words, right examples in the right way, you can differentiate between topics much better.
It says Dave, his social isolation that taught him empathy, and that's how he focused on marginalized potato eaters.
Wow, yeah.
Okay. It says यहाँ पर, his works like Starry Night and Potato Eaters reflect his inner turmoil and his empathy for the marginalized. इसी को बोलते हैं going deep. And It was the pain of his rejection. He couldn't fit himself into the society. And because of which he developed a completely new method of painting, okay, innovated, okay, and probably lauded over the post-impressionism movement in art. Okay, so आप इसी से कुछ उठा लो, आपका good, nice one page on Van Gogh's pain and what it taught him, the man that it made out of him. Okay, I'm keen to look up potato eaters so that you all know what it is. It's a nice way of learning. Okay, there, night mein. And the next time you write an essay on pain, suffering, you have more than simply the name to mention. Sorry. Where is it? Yeah, there it is. Look at the face, emaciated, again, dark night, shadows. Look at this face here, the pain, eyes sunk in the socket. That's your potato eaters.
Yeah. I think when the subject of pain comes, I'm glad this person wrote about Van Gogh because Van Gogh automatically comes to mind.
Yeah.
Most painful stories in the world. So, yeah, it's a great example.
So, yeah, guys, that's all we could have done in this time. I enjoy this session on Thursdays, Dave. It is not the regular teaching. We exchange ideas, teach something beyond our books, our courses. So, yeah.
Dare I say it is the best 1 hour I spend in the whole week. So, and students, thank you for making the effort. Thank you for pushing yourselves. Thank you for, submitting your entries, interacting here. I think there is absolutely no better way to learn than to participate. Okay. You can only learn to swim when you jump into the river, and there is only way to cook is to hold the vessel and actually work on the fire, not watch somebody else cook. Right. So I think your participation is extremely important. I'm so happy you're doing it. And tell your friends, ask them to join this Thursday. Every Thursday we'll do this, and keep telling us what else would you like us to do. I think this evaluation is a great way to teach you essays, and there are so many different ways. If you'd like some other variation, you let us know, and we'll gladly do it. Like I said, it's the best hour I spend in the week. So I'm happy to keep experimenting. Shabbir is there with the best of his critical thinking for this. In fact, I love it so much, Shabbir, that I started preparing for this meeting. I enjoy the preparation that I look up the topic that we are going to discuss, and actually, um, for 30 minutes, I close my eyes and see, okay, here are the 5 concepts. I try to draw a mind map, and it gets me in the mood for this. And that's what you do when you love something really, right? I remember how when you were kids, you used to rush to the cricket field, and even before you were in the cricket field, you were in the cricket field in your mind, right? Doing this action in. I always used to do that, right? In my room, I used to imagine a cricket bat, and I would like swing it. Why do you do that? Because you love that so much that you cannot help yourself. Same thing, right? If you love writing, if you bring that thing into your preparation, then it will stop being a chore and you'll automatically get better at it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Right then, all of you, thanks a lot. We'll catch up again next week. Hitesh is asking something. Hitesh, we can try dimension-wise analysis, pain in different forms. Yes, absolutely. Yes, Hitesh.
Absolutely, yeah.
In fact, do write this essay again. ये आपके पास ऐसे जो है इनपुट के साथ में हम चाहेंगे कि आप इसको लिख के डाल दो टेलीग्राम चैनल में हितेश. Okay, you can explore from there, right? And like I said, use Yuki. Go punch in your doubts, queries. That's like me and Deb sitting with you on your table, and you are coaxing points out of us कि बोल बेटा क्यों कैसे नहीं बोलेगा और बोल तो हम बोलते रहेंगे आपको यूकी के साथ. ठीक है हितेश, चलो. Okay, bye bye. Thanks Deb. Thanks, it's lovely
Thank you,
sitting
Shabbir.
with you. Bye.
Bye, guys.